Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of Chainsaw Man. This is it, everybody. About to catch up to season one with these last two chapters, and it's been a fun ride. It's been very interesting. Having been reading the Japanese language version, seeing the dialogue in English was very interesting. A very, very interesting journey. By the time I get done with 17, Japanese language, book 17, we haven't even gotten to season 2 yet. So, but nevertheless, we'll be caught up to season 1. Um, and I think I'll just explain what it is, why I'm doing it this way. And that's just only because of YouTube. That's all it is. It's just precaution due to YouTube. So that's all it is. We all know how they are with their copyrights and algorithms. So as long as I don't get ahead of the anime series, everything will be fine. You know what I'm saying? It's been going fine so far, but we'll soon find out. But I just thought I'd let know without being too specific. But we all know regarding things like copyrights and such. So that's why I'm only covering season one and not get ahead of season two. Just a precaution. That's all it is. That's why it's still up, and there we go. And yeah, make sure to support the releases, and just a reminder that these videos are not a substitute for reading the manga. Just go and read the manga and support these guys. They worked very hard on it. So you know what I'm saying? Give them the love. Give them the love. So without further ado, let's get reading the last two chapters of season one, Chainsaw Man. It's very weird saying that, doesn't it, when it comes to manga? Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto, Chapter 37, Train, Head, Chainsaw. Katana Man and Chainsaw Man plummet down to the train tracks below. Chainsaw Man felt him striking something, and it was the edge of the roof. Whoa! Chainsaw Man said as he slid off the edge and began to fall even further down. And he landed hero posed on top of the train, the roof of the train, without getting his body shredded by any of the wires above. He pulled off a Keanu Reeves and said, "Whoa!" As Katana Man took on an awesome X pose with his swords aimed right at Chainsaw Man, and he completely got blocked by the buzzsaws, somehow missing all the people inside the train and not slicing them up and killing them. With the crowd screaming, "Ah!" Chainsaw Man and Katana Man locked the blade and saw. Due to the double disturbance inside the train, we will now be making an emergency stop, the train said. The train conductor said. Aye! The crowd screamed out as Chainsaw Man and Katana Man continued to clash and bash. The doors will open on both sides, the announcement said as Chainsaw Man somehow got slammed right into the roof of the train car. Yo! All passengers, please evacuate the train immediately. The white zone is for loading and unloading of passengers. Chainsaw Man landed right next to a person injured, hurt, as Katana Man knelt down with his blade outstretched. Gah. He looked down at the injured woman. She immediately scurried over and huddled in the corner, burying her face in her arms. Whoa, 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 whoa. And suddenly, Katana Man flew right past them, and Chainsaw Man blocked it, deflecting it to the side, keeping both of them from getting hurt. However, Denji's arm severed and plopped to the ground. Blood splurted onto the woman, And in horror, she ran out screaming, "Ah!" Chainsaw Man ignored it. Katana Man crouched ready for another strike. So, Chainsaw Man did the same thing and crouched with his blade, with his chainsaw aimed up. "Come on, dude. Let's ban that move." And Katana Man flew right by. "Guh?" Katana Man was silent. Not a single expression of his face. Chainsaw Man watched his arm flop down. "Dude, it's just a flesh wound."
Can't you fight anymore, can you? Come on, Denji. Before you die, apologize to me for killing my granddad.
"Hey, I can still fight."
With what?
"Haven't you seen Monty Python? Because I still got the chainsaw on my head."
Idiot.
And Denji flew right by. Blades clashed, his legs stretched out, and they both stood in place with their backs to each other. Denji crouched down. His saw blade cracked and broke off.
Didn't my granddad ever teach you to know when to quit?
Katana Man said.
Apologize to my granddad. So do that and I'll put you out of your misery.
Chainsaw Man was silent for a second. Then he lifted his head up. "You oh so carefully aimed for my head. Thanks, moron."
Huh?
And Katana Man split in half straight down the middle. Blood exploded, splashing onto the mirror. Entrails of guts and intestines spilled all over the place. "Didn't your granddad ever teach you that a bee should never trust a hunter? Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. I am Chainsaw Man." And there was Chainsaw Man with a chainsaw for a leg, all chilled out and everything, as Katana Man's body collapsed into two different directions. To be continued. Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto, Chapter 38, Easy Revenge. Good. Ugh. Katana Man, now in human form, said as he was chained up to the train, stripped near naked, with just only his boxer shorts on, down on his knees as Denji looked on, also butt naked.
"Oh, you awake?"
Denji said.
"So you are the same as me. Thought so."
"When I pulled out your arm, Katana, your body stuck back there." "Oh," he remembered. "I'll kill you. I swear I'll kill you."
"Man, losers are loud. So I gotta stick around till the cops show up for you. But I just don't get it,"
Denji said as Katana Man remained silent.
"You killed him, 'Cause of you, there's one less good-looking lady in the world. Now you're gonna live out your prison life without being sorry? That's not gonna leave me with a good taste in my mouth. Especially when I tasted from Himeno. You don't want to taste that."
"As if you could do anything about it," Katana Man said. "You're public safety's pet dog."
"Oh, that's true. Wolf."
Denji pointed in the direction.
"I'm hereby holding a tournament."
"Huh? A tournament, son?" Aki showed up.
"Hey, great timing,"
Denji said to Aki as Aki looked over at Katana Man, wondering what the heck is going on here. "This is Hayakawa Division 4. I've located the target on the train tracks in front of the clock tower." Aki continued speaking into the radio. "He's restrained. Requesting backup immediately."
"Hey, do you want to enter too, Hayakawa? It's the ultimate tournament."
"What the hell are you talking about, son? Don't you understand? I ain't got time for this."
"This guy shot Himeno, that's why. So he ought to get shot too, right? I'm talking nut shots. Remember that feeling?
"Don't remind me, son."
So with that in mind, I'm holding a tournament. we'll both kick him in the balls. And the guy who gets the loudest scream out of him by the time the cop shows up wins.
I mean, I know that feeling, but you did kill him, No, are you out of your mind? Denji smiled so gleefully as Aki thought over his proposal, and he made a decision. Oh, dang it.
Huh? Oh, you're not gonna play after all? You pussy.
What? Boy, you better watch that mouth. And our job is to capture him, not to torment him as payback. Doing that won't make Himeno happy, though.
Oh, whatever.
Aki reached into his shirt pocket and he pulled out the cigarette that said "Easy Revenge." He thought about it. He lamented about it, and then he stood up to his feet. Hey, boy, what do I get if I win? Aki rolled his sleeve back, flexing his arm.
Hey, his family jewels, duh.
Denji smiled, making the OK symbol. And as the mob were being arrested one by one, the angel devil looked up into the sky and saw birds flapping into the sky, wondering what was going on. Katana Man was covered in sweat, profusing. He looked around, then suddenly he screamed. Ah! His whole entire body lurched back as sweat consumed his body, as Aki and Denji smiled with glee with each single swing of a kick they delivered. Himeno, Aki said, can you hear this up in heaven? It's the most beautiful sound you'll ever have. We've just made a choir out of this man. Oh, it's a requiem from us to you. Hallelujah. Meanwhile, at the agency, Makima is speaking with the higher-ups and gave her a report.
The terrorist attack was instigated by a former civilian snubberlodger named Akane Saratari. She made a contract with the gun devil and distributed guns to the Yakuza, the Thurs. They already had the guns. They say that Saratari demanded the Chainsaw Devil's heart as payment.
Oh, the old man said. And why did Saratari want the Chainsaw Man's devil heart?
Well, before we could obtain the information.
Snap. The snake devil had snapped her head off in a flashback, consumed it, and left her headless body dropped to the knees. Kobeni felt the splatter of her blood splayed over her cheeks, and she immediately screamed,
Blood! It was suicide.
Suicide?
It may have been an involuntary suicide per her contract with the gun devil. During this operation, we seized 1.4 kilos of gun devil flesh from within the building. When we combined that with the 5 kilos already in public safety's possession, our collection finally moved toward the gun devil itself.
So it's valid time, Toward where? Makima was silent. It was a dream. A very strange dream. It was a door, a hallway with 2 garbage cans on the side and a air conditioner on the other. And on that door was a peephole. It was covered with paper and a mail slot. Denji stood before it. He leaned close to the peephole but couldn't see through it. And he just stood there staring at it.
It's the same dream as always,
Denji said.
The dream I always have and always forget.
Denji.
Oh, Pochita!
Denji smiled at the sound of his old pet dog.
Come on out, Pochita. At least let me pet you in my dreams.
Denji. Don't open it no matter what. Denji snapped out of his dream. He screamed and found himself underneath the table of all of already consumed food and garbage splayed about. Power sleeping on one side of the table, Aki using Denji's leg as a pillow at the other side. Denji pulled himself up and took long, deep breaths. Huff! Huff!
What is it? You're too loud.
Power said as she wiped the crust off her eyelids, stretching and yawning.
Huff, I think I had a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Ah!
Denji freaked out at Power's four horns all jutted out.
Am I still dreaming?
Quite the half asleep nonsense.
And she punched Denji right up into the air and it struck his belly.
What is this power?
Nope, not a dream.
To be continued. Chainsaw Man, Chapter 38 by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Well, that's it with for Chainsaw Man Season 1. What a great start. I mean, it's got its flaws, like not naming characters like it's supposed to, when they're supposed to, but a lot of fighting, lots of non-dialogue fighting, which is very interesting, very fascinating. But this whole set of chapters, it was just straight up fight. They fight and they fight and they fight kind of thing. Love how they crashed. You know, got all these splinters and everything. Again, all these crazy details that Fujimoto-san pulls off here. Just look at this. I mean, he really elaborates on the splinters. Look at, he even still keeps the jutting of the blades from the jagged teeth of the chainsaw across the whole thing. It's just pretty wild how he goes about it. I also like that how he was able to really capture Katana Man flying down like that. But ultimately this was all just one big final battle, and they were just having a Monty Python moment, one big Monty Python moment. But this showdown on the train, I mean, he just really did a good job using big panels on this one. He didn't use little panels and try to, do, elaborate. He just kept it straightforward and simple. Just fly right by, use their power moves, whatever it is that he has, Katana Man has up here, and just go, boom, you know what I'm saying? That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like if you gotta use it, you know what I'm saying? Most times with fights, they all have power moves, but they all want to do the regular fists and everything. Some of them, make excuses. Like you don't want to use up too much energy throwing kamehamehas, but my man put it to maximum effect and just went, just spam it, and that makes so much more sense. If you got a move that's effective, spam it, especially if you have a good copious amounts of energy. Leaving Denji armless and everything. But honestly, I gotta say that Katana Man is a little bit on the weak sauce side. Not in terms of combat capabilities, like he's solid, but his motivation really is so lame. Apologize to me for killing my granddad. Revenge spree. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's a good enough motivation for Katana Man. I mean, he had to have inherited his grandfather's Yakuza. So what does it matter? You know what I mean? What does it matter? Why risk your entire empire, your whole organization, everything you got, excuse me, for this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's put that in perspective here. If saying even though Denji did take out his grandfather, if you've inherited his Yakuza and you got the millions and everything, why go after this guy here, especially when you see what he can do here? So it's kind of weird, unless of course the Gun Devil's like, yeah, you gotta destroy Chainsaw Man, which is actually where they were getting at, that Sawatori teamed up with him. But again, it's like, why? You know what I mean? For me, I can see why Sawatori went for it. She's going after Pochita's heart. That's established at the end of 38. And I don't understand why he's in on it, because he's just saying it's for revenge. If that's what you're in on, then you're dumb. If it was because you want to get the heart, you know what I'm saying? If this dialogue here would have said, "I'm getting Pochita's heart because it's gonna make me a stronger katana man," then I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, that makes sense." But to team up with Sawatori for the intent of revenge on a granddad and risk your entire his entire, all the money you got from him, the empire, everything. I think that's weak sauce. That's weak sauce from a narrative standpoint. He should have aligned with Sartori, be like, "I'm after the heart," Um, I'm after the heart, and that would have been perfect enough. Very gruesome. I can't even show this stuff. Well, I'm already showing that stuff, but I'm not. I'm not gonna show it again. YouTube's been cracking down. I've been noticing quite recently. So on many YouTubers. So we'll just head on over to this shot. He's wearing shorts. That's perfectly fine. He's swimming. He's going to a swimming pool. This was a joy to watch, to have read in Japanese, and then to see it all in English as well as in the anime. Aki getting his revenge. Um, Fujimoto-san really loves using big panels a lot, from what I've noticed, and that's why everything's moving by so quickly, because he uses large panels with his story, and it's pretty interesting because it's moving things along fast, but it's also not giving. But I also feel like it's not giving us time to really soak in. Like he's like I said, like he's see when he keeps the panels small like this, we really get the moments, but then he moves the thing along very quickly with large panels. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because like I said, it's like he just wants to capture the moments. Like he's rushing through the story to get to the big moments, the pizzazz moments. Um, and that's why we don't get the time we need to see characters and understand characters, that are part of this agency team, which is why I didn't like, because there were unnamed characters that got shot up, but you spent time having them having dialogue and hanging out and telling their backstory, but we don't get their names. We don't get most of their names, and I could see where the problem is, and that's the size of his panels. Um, he's he's putting up a lot of these panels, big panels, but he's not taking the time to create smaller panels to do smaller moments. Um, so his pacing is too fast. It's not slow or slogging, and it's not inconsistent. It just moves too fast because he's using too many big panels, way too many big panels in this set, and ultimately, we find out now that thanks to the Yakuza, they got all the parts they need. They got enough pieces of the Gun Devil um, to make their next move. But again, this is another thing I'm saying. We're not given enough time, to truly appreciate the story of the Gun Devil, because this is one heck of a devil. I mean, it took out 10 cities in a span of seconds and slaughtered millions of people, and we don't know what it looks like. We don't know at this point what it looks like. What it's all you know. We only know what he's capable of doing, but we don't know what he looks like, what his motivation is, or anything. We just know that there are people working for it, and it's a big problem now. Considering that the Gun Devil can do the job itself, it's recruiting people, it's recruiting devils, former public safety agents, and so on, and it's crazy. It's very crazy, and ultimately, that mystery is left pretty much quiet for the next for the next arc, of course. And then we get more of Denji's dream, where Pochita's telling him not to come in, and we close out with Power having four horns. With her having 4 horns here, which is, I don't know what it is. She looks adorable with that face, but the horns just killing it. But of course, deliver the punch. That's it. But overall, these first 38 chapters, pacing, fast pacing issues aside, and the lack of no names, the artwork is stellar. The combat is good. The devils are very inventive. There is good, a very good mystery coming out of these first 38 chapters, and it's a fun ride overall. It's a fun ride, and I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the next set of chapters when season 2 comes and goes. Whenever that is, whenever season 2 Chainsaw Man anime comes to pass, then I'll be back and take care of the next set of chapters. So there we go. All right. So, comment, like, subscribe, follow. You know you want to. And head on over to Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com and grab yourself a copy of The Impossible Man, a strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find the links down below, along with links to other merch like music, t-shirts, stickers, pins, and more. If you're interested, you can head on over to my Patreon if you wish to participate. And if you're also interested in seeing all this live and in the raw, head on over to Twitch and Kick.com for my live multi-streams. Monday through Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, until the next arc, thank you all for joining me, and I wish you all a good night, a buenas noches, and oisuminasai.